to the PI Podcast, your destination for everything NFL, discussing the latest news and providing in-depth analysis of every NFL game. And now, here are your hosts, Ian and Tesh.
Hey guys, what is up? PI Podcast back with episode number 32. Ian, 32. We hit our 30th podcast a week ago, just about. That's pretty awesome. Definitely a fun time. Ian, any big news this week that happened to you?
Yeah, so we'll kick it off with Jack Del Rio. He made some statements about the Capitol. I don't know what you even want to call it. The storm of the Capitol, whatever you want to call it. He was then fined $100,000, and then he also deleted his Twitter account.
Dang. Wow. I don't know. I mean, you are on social media. I don't get how you don't realize that people are watching what you tweet. Especially if you're like a defensive coordinator or someone in that manner. So definitely probably some NFL players are saying he should have gotten a worse fine or worse penalty. So hey, who knows? He did delete his Twitter. Doesn't look like he's gonna get fired as defensive coordinator. So definitely is going to be something that comes up later in the year, possibly. Who knows? So we'll see. So the Raiders officially signed Hunter Renfrow to a 2-year, $32 million extension, including $21 million guaranteed.
Yeah, that's a very good signing for both of them. Hunter Renfrow obviously had a very good connection with Derek Carr, and Derek Carr had a very good connection with Hunter Renfrow. So even if it takes Devontae Adams a couple games to get in the swing of things in Oakland, Hunter Renfrow is going to be there. They got Josh McDaniels calling plays over there. They got Josh Jacobs to open up the passing game. I mean, they're set. They are definitely set.
Yeah. I mean, it was just well deserved now because you're gonna be it might even throw to Hunter Renfrow more. I explained a little bit in my Raiders video. If you guys haven't checked that out, see our recent uploads. Talk about why the Raiders can compete in the stacked AFC West. And one of the reasons is because of Hunter Renfrow. Hunter Renfrow outshined himself, proved himself to be a breakout player last year, and even with Devontae Adams in the starting lineup, they're going to double team him a lot. And so that's going to open up more opportunities for Hunter Renfrow, even when people already know about Hunter Renfrow now. That's still going to lead to more opportunities for Hunter Renfrow in the passing game from Derek Carr. I expect to see a lot more receptions from him and more touchdowns.
What's up, AJ? Welcome in. Talking a little bit of Raider Nation football.
Yes, sir.
So you posted your video today about the Raiders and how they have a chance to be the number one team. What are your thoughts for how do you think they fare against their division? Do you think they go 3-3? Do they go 4-2? Do they 6-0 it, 0-6 it? How do you feel they do in their division?
I think with the Chargers and Broncos, I think they're gonna. With the Broncos and Chiefs, I think they're gonna split. But I think they have a chance to go 2-0 against the Chargers. Not because they're a better team, not because they have better players, but just because the Raiders, obviously in their division, they know the Chargers a lot. They beat them last year in the playoffs. They kind of know how Derek Carr knows how that defense is, and Derek Carr Derek Carr is such a good passer, even with new weapons, Devontae Adams, and he still has Darren Waller. So I think that defense of the Chargers, if it's not improved, they added J.C. Jackson. If it's not improved, look for the Raiders to kind of win both matchups against them. Oh yes, sir, AJ. Yeah, we're almost at 100 subs. We're at 74. Appreciate you guys for the incredible support over the past week and a half on the videos. It's insane. And even that being said, Chargers, I think the Raiders play a little better than these other teams in the NFC West.
That's a fair take. I like that a lot of people are counting the Raiders out. And I don't think that should be done at all.
Yeah, and they do have a team around them. The only thing I'm worried about is their defense. I know they added Chandler Jones. That's going to be a hell of a pass rush with him and Max Crosby there. But outside from that, their safeties are unproven. Jonathan Abrams is decent. Trayvon Moehrig, they're a young safety for them. I've seen him make some plays. Their interior line is they're just gonna have to see their interior line and their secondary. It's gonna see how they play this season against a lot of offensive firepower in many of the teams they face this year.
Yeah, the good news is that their defense doesn't perform very well. They definitely have the offense to make up for it a little bit. And in this day and age, it's always been defense wins championships. But here lately, it kind of seems it's the offense that wins championships. Granted, the Rams last year had a very good defense. The year before, the Buccaneers had a very good defense. The Chiefs, they didn't really have that great of a defense. Even in Tampa, the offense was better, in my opinion, than their defense was. And then even the Rams, you could argue that their offense was just as good as their defense at times. They scored when they needed to. The defense really came to show up in the fourth quarter of that Bengals game, which is, kind of the term defense wins championships just showed itself right there. But it takes a strong offense as well.
Yeah, and it just now in this age of the NFL, prior to other years of decades of NFL legends, it just seems like offense is getting more and more unpredictable and more explosive. So defense is still a very huge part. I think defense wins championships still. It just that the offense sometimes can get better than the offense. Example, the 2016 Atlanta Falcons. Their offense was a lot better than their defense was, even though the defense was good. That offense was just too powerful for anyone to stop, and that's how they made it to the Super Bowl. That explosive offense is what you see now in the NFL. So talking about explosive offenses, the Dolphins wide receiver Tyreek Hill, he said that Patrick Mahomes has the best arm strength when talking about Tua and Patrick Mahomes. But then he said that he would take Tua as being a more accurate passer than Patrick Mahomes.
I seen, and when you look at some highlights of Patrick Mahomes, definitely has the arm strength. There's no doubt about that. But there has been times when you rewatch some of their top 10 from last year where Patrick Mahomes missed the throw and the wide receivers kind of bailed him out a little bit. Now, granted, there's been a lot of times Patrick Mahomes has thrown the ball right on the money and his receivers has dropped it, as in the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay, where sidearm on the ground pretty much throwing it, and, it hits him right in the hands and he drops it. So, I don't know. I don't see it. Maybe Tyreek Hill is trying to stick up for his new teammate, trying to make it seem like he didn't chase the bag, so to speak, even though he got traded. So it's not like he was really chasing the bag. He got traded, but I don't know. I don't see it.
I think it just might be that Tyreek Hill wanted to protect his quarterback and is trying to, I don't know, give him a little bit more confidence in a sense. because I don't think he was gonna go against Tua, and I think the only reason he said that was to give him more confidence and to give the team more confidence in Tua. But that being said, without a doubt, Patrick Mahomes is the more accurate passer than Tua. It's already been, it's like, I mean, that's already said and done. But if Tua can improve his accuracy, if he can improve himself, hey, who knows? This statement may be true, probably not, most likely not, but could be in the sense that he gets a lot more accurate. Especially with the receivers he has at hand now.
I mean, I said this already. I'm excited to watch the Dolphins, especially if Tua plays well. That team can be dangerous.
Yeah, and that's going to be such a scary thing to watch in the AFC East because they also have to play the Bills twice and they play the Patriots twice. So they definitely have a chance to be at least second in the division. I don't think they're going to win the division, but they have the firepower to compete. So it's going to be interesting to watch. Talking about wide receivers, A.J. Brown, he said that he is the best wide receiver to ever play for the Tennessee Titans in their franchise history.
I've seen a lot of comments on it where people were trying to say who the best wide receiver was on the Titans' history, and I didn't recognize a single one of them. So can't really. I've seen one guy say Eddie George was the best wide receiver for the Titans, and he was a running back. So Titans don't have a very good history with wide receivers, but he did have 2,900 yards and 4 seasons, 3 or 4 seasons, 2,900 yards. Not bad.
That's not bad at all. To him to come and say that it's a big confident boost for him in a sense. Just to come out and say that he's the best wide receiver for the team he played with before. That's. I mean, hey, who knows? It could be accurate based on what he said. Titans wide receiver history. But I think there's probably some guys we're overlooking or we don't even know about that had such amazing seasons for the Titans. So definitely may have been one of these things where the reporters got a hand in this and kind of reworded some things. Not sure. So yeah, but AJ Brown, he's gonna be really good in the Eagles, and he's a hell of a receiver. So definitely has a good reason if he did say that, because he was one of the best receivers for the Titans in franchise history, anyways. So I wanna talk to you, Ian, about Mitchell Trubisky. Mitchell Trubisky. Look at the stat line here. He has more, and you gotta remember, I'm comparing him to Deshaun Watson right now. The stat. Remember, Deshaun Watson didn't play a whole year. Mitchell Trubisky, he was a backup the whole year last year. So
right.
Mitchell Trubisky, the stat line, has more career wins as a starter than Deshaun Watson, and is also the 5th leading passer of all time in Bears history.
So, a couple things with that. The Texans have been terrible. However, he did have DeAndre Hopkins. All but 1 year. And then he sat last year, obviously, the year before they traded D-Hop. So,
he did have Will Fuller, too, and Brandon Cook.
Yeah, so Deshaun Watson has definitely had some decent receivers, but he had a terrible team. Terrible offensive line, terrible defense. So I'm going to give a little bit of leeway to Deshaun on this case. But Mitchell Trubisky has proven that he can win some games. Like I said, he's never had that great of a team. Let me mute my...
There's a jet going on over at Ian's house. It's for the last, or helicopter, last few days, actually. We've been playing some Fortnite or something.
Hear a jet. Why is it going across at 10:30 at night?
I don't know. That's so weird. We're watching you, Ian. Someone's watching you. Probably a Seahawks fan that said because you said Derek Carr is better than Russell Wilson. They're just watching over.
I think Seahawks fans are going to be pissed at are going to be pissed at Russell Wilson. I don't think they're going to back him up.
You think?
I don't know.
Well, I don't think they're gonna be pissed at him because he was put in such a horrible situation at the end because he had no blocking, and no offensive line, which he was getting hit so much, and then his defense progressively got worse. So I think they'll respect Russell. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of boos when the Broncos Seahawks play this year in Seattle. That's gonna be an interesting game to watch, though. Given that the Broncos might just sweep them away and blow them out, but...
Speaking of quarterbacks, Matt Ryan has the chance to be the first quarterback in NFL history to lose to all 32 teams.
So I don't think that's gonna happen, first of all, because he's gonna be perfect against Jaguars, so very, very unlikely.
Dude, the Colts haven't beat the Jaguars at home since 2014.
I don't care. It's Matt Ryan, not the Colts. So
okay, but it's 8 years of losing.
I think you're just high right now. But also he doesn't play the Falcons till next year or the year after. So a long way to go before that happens, if it happens.
Wait.
Yeah.
I thought they played this year.
The Colts don't play the Falcons this year. It's usually every couple of years we play the Colts, 2 or 3 years. So.
Yeah, but you're playing the AFC South if you're playing us.
No, not sometimes. The way the schedule works is we play sometimes 1 or 2 teams in the division, and we don't play the rest of the division. Oh, we play the Jacksonville Jaguars in the preseason. I don't think we play any. We don't play AFC South at all in the regular season.
Huh. Okay.
So, yeah.
We'll have to see, though.
I doubt it's gonna happen, but it is a chance he'll get the third.
Years there.
Yeah.
He's not sweeping the Jaguars every year.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Oh well, never know. Only 2 games. Only 2 games.
Know. You can't ever think that about division games. Like, division games can literally go either way.
Yeah, but okay. Now we're gonna talk about another receiver, in Davante Adams. He kind of compared Derek Carr and Aaron Rodgers a little bit, and he said, as far as talent and ability, it's really similar if I'm keeping it real.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, Derek Carr is a borderline elite quarterback, in my opinion. I think he's elite. Some other people would probably disagree, but I don't think anybody's going to say he's not borderline elite. He'll sling the ball. He's not afraid to sling it. He's not afraid to take the check down. He's very smart. He's got a high IQ. He's athletic enough to extend plays. Same with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is not this athletic beast. He's just an extremely gifted quarterback that knows when to roll out, when not to roll out. So I can see it, and not only that, Davante Adams already has a connection with him.
I see where he says there's ability there, because Derek Carr definitely has the ability to be a really good quarterback. Where they differ, though, is Aaron Rodgers' ability to not make mistakes. I think just in general, Aaron Rodgers is better than most 95% of quarterbacks in the mistake division, in the mistake genre, in a sense. Because he has one of the, if not the, I think he has the lowest interception to touchdown ratio rate in NFL history. It's just crazy how little mistakes are for him. Because, like, you see a lot of different quarterbacks, there's different things that can happen. A tip pass can happen like 100 times in a year. A lot of different stuff can happen to get an interception, not just specifically the quarterback's mistake. A lot of what receiver could make a mistake, and even the running back and stuff like that. So it's kind of unbelievable how little turnovers he has.
Yeah, and it's really saying something when you're a gunslinger, so to speak, and you throw 50, 60-yard passes sometimes. The fact that his interception total is so low, because that's why Derek Carr's interception total is higher, is because he takes the deep throw a lot of the times. Now, granted, when you have someone like Devontae Adams, the odds of it getting intercepted are lower because he's going to contest the catch regardless if he's catching it or not. And then, he's had some stud wide receivers in the past, like Jordy Nelson. I think he played with Donald Driver a few years. He's had some stud wide receivers in the past. So when you have receivers like that, definitely helps out. When you look at quarterbacks like Derek Carr, where he had Deshaun Jackson for a little bit, and Hunter Renfrow. Who else has he had? And the fact that he's able to really put up some big numbers and stuff. His best wide receiver didn't even play a game for him, Antonio Brown. So, I don't know. It's just Derek Carr's got some talent. I think he's going to make wide receivers around him better. And then when you have Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, they're going to be okay.
Yeah, I think Derek Carr is a really solid quarterback, and he has the weapons. He has more weapons around him now. So I think their offense has a chance to score a lot more points. We're going wide receiver heavy today. Panthers' Robbie Anderson says he even tweeted out, he said he's thinking about retiring from the NFL. In 2021, he signed a 2-year extension worth almost about $30 million, which runs through the 2023 season. Last year, he had 519 yards receiving, with Sam Darnold mostly starting as his quarterback.
Derek Carr and Adams. I'm telling you, the Raiders are going to be good. Pratesh just made a video about why he thinks the Raiders have a very good chance of winning that division. I've already said it. The Raiders are my pick to win the division. I think the Chargers got good, but I think they got to make it work for a year before they're going to be the top team in that division. I think the Chiefs downgraded. They built their defense up better, but losing Tyreek Hill is a huge, huge move. That doesn't make them better. Even with the acquisition of Juju, that doesn't help. And then the Broncos, again, same thing like I said with the Chargers. I got to see it work together. One, I think Russell Wilson can be great, but like I said, I think he's a little overhyped, overrated in a sense. I think he's fourth best quarterback in that division. I think Derek Carr is better than him. I think Justin Herbert's better than him, and obviously Patrick Mahomes is better than him. So we'll see. Raiders have a very good chance at winning that division this year.
Yeah, and they will make a lot of noise. They have Darren Waller, they have Josh Jacobs. If they can get holes for him in the offensive line, if he can find his way, and have a really good season, I think they'll just open up Devontae Adams even more on the play action, and even Hunter Renfrow, because Devontae Adams is going to get double teamed. So it's just going to open up so much more for Hunter Renfrow. And talking about Robbie Anderson, he's a good receiver. I'm not giving any doubt. I've seen Robbie Anderson make some plays on the Falcons defense. Even though this time with the Jets, like those last whatever time he had with the Jets, he was catching some really deep passes. I think he had a 94-yard touchdown with the Jets one time too. He's a really solid receiver.
Well, if Christian McCaffrey can get healthy, the passing attack is going to get better. You got to think, granted, Chuba Hubbard, great back. Very good backup. He can be a solid starting running back in the league, I think. But the constant QB changes they had, the inconsistency at quarterback, poor coaching, I'll blame some of it on the coaching, doesn't help Robbie Anderson at all. It also doesn't help Robbie Anderson that he's been following Sam Darnold around from the Jets to the Panthers. I think a better quarterback, he would shine. And you also got to think he's the second wide receiver there. I can't remember the guy's name. Yeah,
they have DJ Moore starting at wide receiver.
DJ Moore, yeah.
And he's
Moore's their guy.
Yeah. And he's an amazing receiver. So, but it makes you think. I think Robbie Anderson, if he can get a solid quarterback there, he's gonna have a really good season, regardless if
Yeah.
he's wide receiver too. It's just that the Panthers last year they were switching with Sam Darnold, Cam Newton. I think they even had their as the backup quarterback as well start for a game. I don't remember his
PJ
name.
Walker.
Yeah, they haven't started for a game, and that didn't go well at all. Because he played the Falcons that game. I remember that most definitely. And he just threw one up, and AJ Terrell got an interception. But that Panthers situation, it just even worse because I don't like Matt Rule that much. I think he's okay, but I really don't see Matt Rule leading that team anywhere, especially with all the decisions he's making. Signing Cam Newton back.
I completely agree.
I know that signing Cam Newton back provided a spark for the team in general because all the Panthers fans were hyping him up and everything. That provided a big spark for the Panthers organization. But to sign him and he's not doing anything with it, I mean, I think that was just a media grabber attention kind of signing.
Yeah, Cam. Actually, speaking of quarterback, Cam Newton came out and said basically that he was not smart for starting for the Panthers. That he said he got signed on a Thursday and started Sunday, which didn't help his stock at all. He still thinks he can be a starting quarterback in the league. I personally think if he went to a team with a good quarterback coach, because he's got some stuff that you can't teach. He's obviously a very big physical quarterback that has speed. He's not afraid to. He's afraid to jump on a football, fumble-wise, but he's not afraid to put his shoulder down, truck through some defenders, and he's made some really good plays last year, considering his circumstance of 3 days on the team and then he's starting a football game already. And obviously when you're going through quarterbacks, your game plan's changing all the time. At least it should be, because every quarterback's different, has a different skill set. So not only is your quarterback having to come up with a new game plan with your coach, your team doesn't know what the hell's going on. Robbie Anderson with Sam Darnold might be running go routes and post routes, and then the next game he's blocking all the time for Cam Newton's option plays. So it doesn't help.
Yeah, it's up to him if he retires. We'll see him if he retires, but he definitely if they get their quarterback situation figured out, I think if they need Robbie Anderson, they will kind of convince him to stay if Robbie Anderson sees he's in a position to be able to succeed as a wide receiver on that team. So it's gonna be something to watch out for if he does retire, because then that leaves the Panthers with only DJ Moore there. So yeah, talking about Cam Newton, he also said that he sees himself as more valuable than Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Peyton Manning.
End the podcast. That's some bullshit. 2015 Cam, maybe.
Ooh, I still don't think 2015 Cam was an accurate quarterback. I mean, he was more accurate than he's ever been.
He was just a dominant player.
Yeah.
His skill set. Now, granted,
except when he lost against the Falcons that year,
and if he would have had more prime years, you could argue it. But the fact is, speed doesn't stay forever, and he's kind of dealing with that. Also, running quarterbacks typically don't last long in the NFL. And if they did, they probably would be the most valuable quarterbacks. If Lamar could keep his speed forever until he's 40, hell yeah, you could argue that someone like him's the most sought-after quarterback in the NFL, or whatever he said he was, valuable. But no, Tom Brady, there's no denying Tom Brady is the most valuable quarterback in the NFL ever. When you win 7 rings, that disputes. I'll give you the Michael Jordan-LeBron debate because Michael Jordan has 6 rings. LeBron James made it to 10 finals. So, granted, he hasn't won them all, but he made his team get there. So he's just as valuable as Michael Jordan, in my opinion. You guys can have that argument on who's the greatest player all you want. That doesn't matter. But Cam Newton's nowhere near as valuable as Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. Hell, Mitchell Trubisky is more valuable than Cam Newton right now.
Yeah, I don't see what Cam's talking about here. I don't see him as valuable as any of those players. He's never been an accurate quarterback. Even in his prime season, even his MVP season, he wasn't the most accurate quarterback ever. And that's why you're not as valuable as Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning. Guess what? One thing they all have is they're super accurate. They can escape the pocket. Aaron Rodgers more so than those other two, but they literally can be pocket passers if they need to. They literally read defenses. That's what you do, and they're accurate with the ball. They can fit in tight windows. They can fit it on the deep ball. Cam Newton on the other side, he will casually overthrow receivers, underthrow receivers, overthrow them on deep balls. It's just that's what it takes to be a valuable quarterback. Being able to be in the pocket, being able to be pocket presence as well. Pocket present to be able to see the rushers and be able to look at the field in a different sense and be able to read defenses. Last thing about Cam Newton, he also said he was talking on podcasts with all this stuff. And he also said on his time with the Patriots that the New England experience was effed up situation. He was still learning the offense 7 to 8 weeks into the season.
How is that? Whose fault is that? I'm being serious. I'm not saying it's Cam's fault, and I'm not saying it's Patriots' fault, because was the system too complex? Was it done on purpose so that way Mac Jones would be the guy? How does that work? Is it Cam Newton's fault for not taking the playbook home? How is it effed up? I don't understand that. So I wish I could talk with Cam Newton for a few minutes just to see what the thought of a quarterback who's fighting for the starting job, the struggles that they face, what's hard about it, learning an offense? When you've played the position for 6 years, you're a veteran in the league. Why is it so hard to pick up a new offense? I know terminology is different. I did, as a Jaguar fan, I watch a lot of our videos that come out on YouTube, and the coaches all get together. I watch their press conferences. Basically, every coach has a different term for everything. Whether it's a package or a position or a call out on defense, everybody's got different terminology. So that's a huge learning curve. So I wonder if because Bill Belichick's team has all been together, they have their stuff all down pat, and you're a new quarterback coming in, maybe that's why it was so difficult. Maybe he just... Also, Tom Brady calls the plays a lot. So who knows? Maybe the stuff Bill Belichick was calling out and stuff wasn't working, and Tom Brady would change it out the huddle. So then Cam Newton comes in and the plays aren't working. And it might not necessarily be his fault. It might just be a bad play design. So who knows? That's interesting, though.
Yeah, to be learning the offense that you were of a team you were signed for midway through the season. There's something got to be going on there. Maybe they didn't give him the right playbook or something. I don't know. But to be able to not be able to learn the offense 7 to 8 weeks, maybe it's both Cam Newton and the team in general, or maybe it's just Cam Newton not being able to learn the system and not being able to work with it.
Another thing I was just thinking about, the Carolina Panthers, Cam Newton, freakishly athletic. Christian McCaffrey, freakishly athletic. Steve Smith, freakishly athletic. Greg Olsen, very good tight end. This is who he played with. It wouldn't be surprising to me if the offense was not anything special. If there wasn't any complex plays, because they were all freak athletes. On the Patriots, they're prided in not having very physically gifted players. It's just they're so well coached. And they're so strict, and everything's got to be done perfect. So there is a chance that Cam Newton does not understand, like, I'm not trying to say the Carolina Panthers offense wasn't a legit offense, but I mean, a lot of their plays are based on their abilities, and the Patriots don't have a bunch of guys that can. Christian McCaffrey, they don't have a Steve Smith on their team. They have people like Nelson Aguilar, and I mean, they don't have these crazy talented players. They just have a bunch of players that work very hard.
Yeah, and it goes to the point where you have to be an accurate quarterback even if you don't have receivers, because when Cam Newton was on Patriot offense, it looked miserable. The only good plays was him rushing for touchdowns and stuff like that. And that was because he had no receivers around him as well. But at the same time, he wasn't accurate either. So that makes it so much harder for the wide receiver core, so much harder for your running back, so much harder for the offensive coordinator to be able to draw up plays when you're overthrowing or underthrowing balls by a mile, by an inch, by a yard, by a centimeter. It just makes that offense so much more complex. And that's why he was doing so well in Carolina, because you said Steve Smith, freakish athlete. Christian McCaffrey, freakish athlete. Greg Olsen, very good tight end. It doesn't matter how high he threw it, because if he threw it accurately, Greg Olsen would jump up and catch it for him. So for Cam Newton not to be working in the Patriots offense, it kind of makes sense, because he didn't have the receivers that can make these freakish catches. He didn't have the running back that he did in Carolina. And he didn't have the supporting cast around him.
Yeah, I don't think the Panthers had to have a complex offense with how talented they were, especially 2015, 2016, 2017, where these guys were like in their prime, basically. Like Greg Olsen was in his prime then. Steve Smith was in his prime right then. Cam Newton was up and coming, but he was pretty much in his prime when you consider how bad he's been since. So maybe that's what it was. It was just a complex offense that the Patriots run because they rely on IQ to get the job done. The Panthers relied on their freakish athleticism. They didn't need complex play designs. And then they might have run a trick play or two to keep people on their toes, but they weren't doing. You were doing a go route with Steve Smith, and you were throwing it 40 yards down the field to try to get it to him.
Yeah, and also the thing is, Mac Jones beat him out as a starting quarterback too, throughout the season. So there's got to be something there, because Mac Jones is probably, and even Cam Newton said himself that Mac Jones is going to be an amazing player. But to be able, Mac Jones beat Cam Newton out, a veteran. Just goes to show that Mac Jones, a rookie, was able to make that offense look better than Cam Newton ever did.
As a 7, 8 year, 9 year player.
Exactly. So that goes to show there's something with Cam Newton himself, something that doesn't make him as talented as other quarterbacks. So talking about quarterbacks, Tom Brady, he had an interview recently, and he was asked about the offseason reports that linked him to Miami Dolphins this offseason that we talked about. But he kind of strayed away from the question, and he didn't even deny it either. He would keep answering the question in a way where he didn't really answer it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's true. I'm sure it's true. I mean, who knows? We won't know for years. It'll eventually leak out. Like, the real information will eventually leak out. But that would be sweet, though. A half player, half owner, or a full player, half owner type deal, 20% owner, whatever he would have gotten. That would have been cool to see, actually. I don't think it's been done in the NFL since the NFL first started, probably. I'm sure there was a lot of player owners when the NFL first started, but since then, there hasn't been anything like that.
Yeah, and it's interesting that he didn't deny it, because there are probably, maybe after he retires, he'll probably still try to have part ownership of the Dolphins. And another thing I was thinking about was Tom Brady. What if he did leave the Bucs and decided to go play for the Miami Dolphins this year? We wouldn't have heard anything. I don't know if Tyreek even goes to Dolphins with Tom Brady there. Maybe, possibly. But even there's such a big event that unfolds if that happened, because it would rattle the NFL, like just how things were. Buccaneers would have to use Kyle Trask or find a new quarterback. Miami already has quarterback and looking like Super Bowl contenders right now. So It's definitely something that is very, very interesting, and the fact that he didn't deny it means after he retires, we'll figure out something, or something's going to be leaked out, or something's going to be
Well,
out in the open.
what would be interesting if he wants to keep playing, the Dolphins just stack that team up. If Tua doesn't work,
They call up, hey Tom, you wanna play for the Dolphins
yeah, you remember what we were talking
against
about
your
last
old
year?
team? Yep. Man, that'd be such a crazy situation. Tom Brady and the Dolphins. I'm gonna play New England and Bill Belichick twice a year. Oh man, that would be something to watch.
It would be tough though because the Jets are slowly starting to get better. The Patriots are always going to be contenders,
And the Bills.
and the Bills are very good. Now, granted, Tom Brady's always been good against the Bills, even as they started getting better. But who knows? I do have another crazy situation I want to talk about. Deshaun Watson. This is getting better. I say better. Entertainment-wise, it's getting better, but the situation in Cleveland is very crazy. You've got Deshaun Watson getting more allegations. You have the Cleveland Browns not knowing there was more allegations coming, and you have Deshaun Watson's own lawyer not knowing there was more coming. You have to wonder if Deshaun Watson was very truthful. You have to wonder if there's even more coming. Now you're looking at, wow, he actually very well could be suspended for multiple years. Because here's the thing, the Browns were very smart when they structured his contract. It's a $1 million cap hit this year. So if he gets suspended for the year, it doesn't hurt them. But the NFL should definitely suspend him for 2 years, because then the second year is when Deshaun Watson's making the money. You knew he had all these allegations against him. You should not have pursued him. Not only that, you had Baker Mayfield sitting there who has shown he can be good, even though he got injured last year, and you ruined the one competent quarterback you've had in the last 20 years. Their whole situation is so messed up. You could honestly see Jacoby Brissett playing football this year for the Cleveland Browns all year.
Yeah, there's so much going on with Deshaun Watson right now that he's like a target on the Cleveland Browns. And for the Cleveland Browns to have him risking it all to get him, and now with everything coming out, even more things happening. By the start of the season, he could have so many more reports out there, so that Cleveland Browns are forced to do something, and Roger Goodell's going to be forced to suspend him for years, maybe even ban him.
Could be either or. I personally think 2 years would be the minimum he should get. And that would be the minimum I think he should get at this point. And like I said, I'm a huge supporter of you're innocent until proven guilty. But there's no way that 24, 25 people have come out and it's not at least one of them true. Like the odds of... There's no way there's not at least one of them that's true.
Yeah, it does. It wouldn't make that's a lot. I mean, even if these people came out and they just were money grabbing, they saw these other girls coming out and talking about their experience with Deshaun Watson, even if it kind of chain linked, and went all the way up to 25, there's gotta be some truth behind it. There's not all of them are lying. I mean, there's just so many that there has to be some truth, something he did that maybe it wasn't what they're saying he did. Maybe it was something else. Maybe it could have been not as bad, but it's still bad. So
yeah, 66 in 17 months. I mean, regardless, obviously every single one of these massagers worked with Deshaun Watson. The fact that many have worked with him is a screaming red flag regardless. The fact that you're going through that many, like, there's got to be something that happened. And here's the thing, it could have all been consensual. But when you're a person of basically power, Like, you can't abuse it. Like, you can't put it. Would be very similar to if I was if I was a famous person and I said, hey, go cook me dinner or else I'm going to ruin your career. It's the same thing, but worse.
Yeah.
Like, you can't use your power and popularity and fame to force someone to do something, basically. Even if it doesn't seem like you're forcing, you can't do that.
It just, it's just a different situation, and who knows if anything's gonna happen to him? Because the NFL, they like to give gambling a whole year suspension, and then if someone hits somebody, it's just one game. Oh, it's okay. You get suspended one game. So, you never know with the NFL, and I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised if they only gave him like half a 8-game suspension. That would be insane. I think a lot of people would react to that. But it's not out of the question because Roger Goodell obviously doesn't know what he's doing. So, yeah. You get someone beat up, get suspended 4 to 6 games, but you gamble on the NFL. Oh, that's worse than hitting someone, getting out for a year. Yeah.
Yeah, and you've also, this is one of the worst things that's happened for the NFL probably ever. I mean, this is a crazy situation. Like, even when Ray Rice, like all them guys, like, yeah, those were bad situations. But the fact that this is like over 20 people, possibly more, that's crazy. Not only that, obviously Deshaun Watson has some issues that he should seek professional help for.
It's kind of crazy how it got to this point. I mean, a couple years ago, he was considered one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and now he's considered as one of the most massage happy quarterbacks in the NFL. So that's gonna be something. We're gonna see something in the regular season that I don't know. Right now, they're not even saying anything if they're gonna suspend him or not. So if I think more are gonna come out. If there probably is more. There's 66 reports, maybe 25 that already came out, people that came out, but like 66 reports, that's a lot. That's not even fathomable. Like all of them are lying. Like all those reports are fake. Definitely something that is gonna change Deshaun Watson's career and probably hurt the Browns organization as well. And they're gonna regret it for years to come. So it's gonna be interesting to see that unfold throughout the regular season and however long it takes. So let's go to a team we don't talk about too much. The New Orleans Saints. Michael Thomas, Slant Boy, is doubtful to practice at minicamp. And remember, he's been injured for a while, for the last couple of years now, barely getting any playing time at all.
Interesting because, Michael Thomas would help this team tremendously. Obviously, Michael Thomas is a huge part of the Saints. He's their guy, his number one guy. But they are built to win, other than the quarterback situation. Their team is built to win football games. And they have a huge chance to make it deep, possibly push for a playoff spot this year. But they need all the pieces to be healthy and practicing. They got a new coach this year. They've got a returning quarterback, but he was injured a lot last year. They have some rookies that are going to be key pieces in that offense. You got new Jarvis Landry. You've got the Honey Badger. Like, you've got a lot of pieces on that team. You need them all to be there during minicamp.
Yeah, I think this is just something that's gonna hurt him in the long term. It depends if he's not even able to practice in minicamp. How good is he gonna look if he gets back into the regular season? Because it's been so long since we've seen Michael Thomas play or decently play a whole game. So I think it's just gonna hurt him, and the team's it's gonna hurt the team a lot. I don't know what's going on, how bad of an injury that was, but It's something to monitor and something to look at when the regular season starts, because if something happens and he's still not ready by the start of the regular season, I mean, it's been so long now that potentially they could release him or even trade him at this point.
Yeah, the speaking of like mini camps and stuff, the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson announced that the mandatory 3-day mini camp will not be mandatory for players, only rookies and veterans returning from injury, which I think is a really good moral boost. In the past, like Tom Coughlin was like a military sergeant, like you got to be here, you're getting fined if you're not, you're fined for this, fine for that. So Doug Peterson, I think, is really trying to change the culture by being a player's coach, which the Jaguars haven't really seen. Even Doug Marrone was kind of a drill sergeant. Obviously, Urban Meyer was kicking players. So Doug Peterson's trying to do right by the team, and I like it. It's a 3-day mini camp. It's not gonna hurt. It's not gonna hurt the players to miss 3 days of workouts, basically. And then they'll be padded up the following week anyway. So there's that.
Yeah, minicamp's getting riled up right now. We're almost at the end. We're halfway through June, not even halfway yet, but definitely a lot of things, minicamps and training and all that stuff. You're seeing a lot more videos from players, your favorite players catching footballs and everything, all the defenses. The last bit of news that I have is another wide receiver, Lions wide receiver. They took arguably one of the best receivers in the draft, that Jameson Williams, but he did get hurt. He's unlikely to be ready for training camp as well. So that goes into the decision to draft him as well. Do you think maybe they thought he's good enough, regardless if he was not ready for training camp? Maybe they think he's good enough to be able to learn the system and be able to be a solid player in his first year in the regular season without mini camp or any of that stuff.
Well, I have seen videos from their war room, their draft room. When they figured out that they could get Jameson Williams, they went crazy in that room. I can't remember who got the pick before. I think it was the Saints, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, that was the Saints.
When Jameson fell to them, they all got ecstatic. So they definitely think he's their guy. Who knows? I mean, he's got some pretty big shoes to fill. They haven't had a dominant wide receiver since the man himself, Calvin Johnson, the big Megatron. But now their wide receiver room, he's got a chance to rest and get fully healthy, because obviously Amon St. Brown played phenomenal last year as a rookie. I think he exceeded a lot of expectations. They just picked up DJ Chark, who's healthy, speed threat. They still have TJ Hawkinson as a tight end. They got DeAndre Swift. He can take time to get ready.
Yeah, and it's something that they can even sit him if they want to right now to let him heal. It's not a very important thing to have him start. He's only a rookie, so they have that option. And as you're talking about the draft room video, I watched that too, and the pick before the Saints, they were so worried that you could see the seriousness in everybody's face in that draft room. They were so worried the Saints were gonna take Jameson Williams. But as soon as they took Chris Olave, the whole room went crazy. Yeah. They were fired up to be able to get the guy that they wanted. And I think they traded up too to try to get him. Not sure about that, but they were fired up to get Jameson Williams. So yeah, definitely check that video out, guys. It's on the Detroit Lions YouTube page. It's a fun video. Definitely go check it out. A lot of teams have different videos now that are very well made and everything. Definitely an interesting watch. And yeah. Don't forget, we have a signed Jaguar mini helmet. We're gonna be giving away at 100 subscribers on YouTube. and 100 followers on Twitter. So if you guys have Twitter and are not following the PI Podcast, definitely go follow the PI Podcast on Twitter for your chance to win mini helmet. We'll definitely be announcing giveaway rules and ways to enter when we hit 100 subscribers and 100 followers on Twitter. So definitely there'll be a video on YouTube of how to enter the giveaway. So definitely make sure you guys are ready for that. So make sure you guys hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on that video.
Again, we're going to be uploading every single day. We're going to try to do a couple days randomly where we do 2 uploads. However, I'm working a new schedule, so I got to basically get through this last week, which I just did. Obviously, it's Sunday. But my new schedule for this week is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So all day Tuesday, all day Thursday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I'm off now. So I'll be able to produce even more content. My laptop crashed, but we're going to figure out something to do with that. I've got another laptop I'm working on to get fixed too. So I'll be back making videos, but for now, I'm going to keep doing the same stuff we've been doing, basically separate. When we're apart, we'll do our same reaction videos. Will be coming back out. Probably, I don't know exactly when we'll continue the reaction series because tomorrow's Monday. I work all day. Tuesday, maybe we can meet up. Maybe.
Yeah, potentially Tuesday. Potentially Tuesday and Thursday. We'll try to get these reaction videos done.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we got like 10 more, something like that. Something close to 10.
Yeah, 10. Yeah, something like that. But we also probably gonna have a different reaction series right after that. So.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna be.
I've already said I want to go over the top 5 picks from the draft.
Yeah.
And then we're going to continue our team series. Our team series is not going to end probably anytime soon. I mean, we obviously just went over all of our expectations. I just finished the offensive expectations for the Jags. That'll be uploaded maybe tomorrow. I think so because we don't have an upload for tomorrow.
The Jaguars offense video is going to be uploaded tomorrow.
So that'll be tomorrow. And then obviously, whenever news comes out, we'll try to make a video on it. And that'll be just an extra upload. Or if we run out of, until it might be Thursday before we can record a reaction video. So Wednesday might be another team video. But then Thursday, we'll do our reaction videos and we'll get back to it by Friday, Saturday at the latest.
Yeah, so definitely make sure you guys subscribe if you are new, and make sure you do have that bell on so you don't miss any of those videos. They're really fun. It was a lot of fun for us to do, and you guys will enjoy it. A lot of different highlights that are awesome you guys want to see from each of these teams, no matter what team you're a fan of. So yeah, is that anything else, Ian?
I don't think so.
Okay.
We made a new channel.
Yep, I officially have made the new channel, PI Podcast Sports, Cards and Breaks. Made the logo at least. Definitely we're gonna make an intro video for it, and then as soon as that's done, when we meet up, make an intro video for it, and then we'll start uploading. And right now, our schedule will probably be Monday, Wednesday, Friday for when those upload the card opening videos on that channel.
We have like 100 videos.
Yeah, we have so many videos to upload, so you guys will be good on that channel for months to come. And any packs that we get now, it'll just keep adding up. So I don't think we'll ever run out of videos.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And if we do, we'll slow down the uploads to maybe twice a week. But as of right now, we have so many videos on the back burner that we just have to upload. So there will be no more card openings on this channel. We might open packs on stream every once in a while, but obviously when football season starts, there will not be any time on the podcast to open up cards.
Yeah, unless we have singles or anything. Yeah, the only time may be when we have single packs, like 5-card single packs. But other than that, not too much. So definitely, if you guys did enjoy the pack openings and stuff like that, make sure to go check out the PI. It's called PI Podcasts Sports Cards and Breaks YouTube channel. You may not be able to subscribe to it yet because we don't have a video out on that channel. So definitely, give you guys the link when we do upload our first video. And make sure you guys are following the Discord. It's in our link tree. Let me go ahead and put that in the chat right now for anyone who doesn't have who isn't in the Discord. We chat a lot with all of you guys on the Discord, so definitely.
Yeah, and you'll be able to see all of our other socials. We'll add the second channel when our first upload comes out. We'll update the link tree. Remember, there's merch on there if you want to try to buy some merch. We've got our PayPal link if you want to donate $1. There's a bunch of different things. TikTok's on there. We've been kind of slipping on the TikToks, but we'll be getting those back up and running very shortly. Like I said, my last week has been very busy. So I helped a friend paint a house yesterday. My in-laws, my stepdad-in-law. Well, no, my stepdad-in-law. He was collecting wrestling figures, so we went to a collector show today. He bought a table so he could sell his collection. So he was able to sell some, but I was there for a little bit today. Had to grocery shop for the week. And then Thursday, Friday, I worked really long days. So the content will come. I got my schedule changed. So hopefully now I have all day Tuesday and Thursday to just bulk upload videos, and hopefully we can get back to trying to upload twice a day if possible.
Yeah, I usually try to go to Ian's twice a week, so definitely a lot of content we'll be able to make.
Yeah. And then once our card channel's up and going, you'll get daily uploads here, and then you'll get Monday, Wednesday, Friday double uploads basically, because you can go to that channel and watch. We'll maybe change the upload time for that channel. Maybe do 5 o'clock so that way you can watch the 4 o'clock video. Maybe 4:30, 4:15 or something, so you can just hop over to the next channel and watch it as soon as you're done with the video. And then Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday is podcast day. So, and we're going to try to upload videos on podcast day too. It's going to take a little while so we can get our uploads ready. We got to record, edit, and all that. So, might be another week before we do that. But the goal is to just produce content like crazy. You guys seem to really like the reaction videos. Our team videos are getting lots of views. I think we've gotten 13 subscribers in the last few days.
And even 20.
I think we were at 59 the 59
something like
on
that.
Monday or something. I don't know. We've got a lot of subscribers in the last couple days.
Yeah, so appreciate you guys always. Make sure you guys don't miss our podcast. We go live Sunday. It's gonna be on YouTube right after anyway, so even if you do miss it, you can rewatch it or watch it right there. We're still working on putting them all on Spotify and stuff, so there's still a lot of podcasts still on Spotify. I just got to be able to update it with all the new stuff, which is gonna take some time, but those videos are there for you guys on Spotify and stuff if you guys prefer that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching the podcast. We'll see you guys Tuesday.
Peace.
Thank you for watching the PI Podcast. Make sure you subscribe and tune in next time so you don't miss the latest news in the NFL world. You can also follow us on TikTok at PIPodcast and on Twitter at PIPodcasters. Until next time.